Welcome back to the Conquer Athlete Podcast. I'm your co-host, no longer a guest, Tyler Cooke. I'm with the one and only Ryan Bucciantini and the great Jason Lyden. Everybody give it
Wow.
up.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
What a crew, huh? What a crew.
Speaking of crew, we have double crew cuts here. We have Tyler and Ryan with double crew cuts. And I'm not going to lie, they look good on you guys.
I appreciate that.
I feel good about it. Christina, on the other hand, not a fan.
Really?
Doesn't
Not
like
about
it, huh?
Dude,
No.
my wife cannot
Keep her hands off you?
dude, it's like I'm in the kitchen. She's grabbing my butt. It's
Whoa.
like, babe, whoa. Hey, the kids are right there.
You getting a little reach around while you're making fucking Tuesday night tacos or what?
Something like that. I'm telling you, she's a big fan. Big fan.
You know,
Apologies
that situation.
to D Cook for having to listen to this banter.
Well, I mean, you know,
D hates it.
they're married. D hates the crew cut, huh?
Dude hates it. She said there was two things in my life that I've done that have made her disappointed as a mother. And I got a couple of tattoos, and then now I've shaved my head.
What if she was like Callie and shaving your head? That
would be a much bigger conversation. And
Callie, if you listen to this, I love you. Just, you know, this.
You know what I
for the show.
responded with? I was like, Mom, I think if one of my kids, if that was like the list of disappointments in my children, I'd be thrilled as a father. The fact that they got a few tattoos and they got an ugly haircut, like that's awesome. So I think I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, Cam, my son wants to get a buzz cut in the summer. I told him he should get a tight fade, buzz, and then bleach his hair. Just totally like go
all in.
Go Eminem
Would you set
2004.
him up for that?
I mean, 2000.
You know what? You got to learn.
You know,
Do you
it's
want
like,
him to be bullied?
no way, dude. I love it because you know, Cam is strong and he boxes with me. He can throw a good punch, and you know, these kids. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. When you're the top dog, people are jealous, right? So there's a kid in this school who, you know, was talk trash about him, saying he's better than him at basketball, and like stupid stuff like that. And Cam's let it slide for like a year. And this kid is like not a good kid, right? Like he's the type of kid who will bully people and like piss on their bike and, you know, say things like that, right? So I didn't even know about this. My wife told me. So Cam goes up to him a couple months ago and was like, hey, you've been talking some shit over the past year and I let it slide. If you keep it up, I'm going to beat you up. And the kid hasn't said a word since. I'm like, that boy didn't have to throw a hand.
That's great.
Yeah.
Dude, that's great. He didn't do anything out of line. He told the kid, hey, I'm just warning you right up front. Stop doing that. That's great.
I'm warning you. You keep it up, you're going to break your nose.
I think if you're that badass, you should get
the right approach.
Mm-hmm.
Give the kid a chance to change.
That's right. Yeah. Dude, change the behavior.
Yeah.
Because there's no telling who else he was doing that to. And so Cam may just help some other kids out. You know?
The kid still does it to other people. I've been hearing stories. I taught the kid Cam a lot about like distance and fight control. Listen, you never throw the first punch, obviously. I'm like, however, if someone's coming at you in an aggressive tone or manner and they reach a distance of where they can attack you, you then have to be the first to attack. I was like, this whole rule of like, don't be the first one to punch. I'm like, that doesn't apply if someone's trying to do harm to you and they're in a position to do harm to you. You don't let them do harm to you. You do harm first and then you get out. I was like, but you got to be careful of their friends. I'm like, so if it goes, you know, I give them all these scenarios. I'm like, if it goes to the ground, you got to have your back to the wall. We can see other people. You got to, here's how you control the bottom person while you can still look up. You know, I'm like, he's like, what if there's like 8 people? I'm like, you're the fastest kid in town. You fucking run.
Get out of there.
Yeah. I go,
get out of there.
He goes, but then they'll call me a bitch. I'm like, but you'll be alive for them to call you a bitch. And then you can find them all in a one-on-one situation and take care of them one by one. He's like, okay.
Yeah, you tell him if they run up with 8, we're coming back with 20. You just tell he needs to get out of there in a hurry.
Well, I mean, because he tells you like he has 0 problems, but he tells me like these stories of things he hears where like, you know, kids will fight outside of school and it'd be a fight, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, 5 dudes will jump in.
Yeah.
Type stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you might find yourself in a situation like that at some point. I'm like, you get the fuck out of there. I'm like, if you can't, you go for the one who's the biggest and the loudest, and you try to break his face with one punch.
To shut him up.
And generally other people will think twice, and then you can drop another couple bombs on a few other people and create space distance and get out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the book Parenting by Lyden comes out December 2026. So prepare yourself.
High-level stuff.
Yeah. You know, it's whatever. Self-preservation.
Life lessons.
To change the topic.
Okay.
Tyler, sponsored by Reebok now, correct?
Whoa.
No.
Well, hold on.
No.
Well, good. Then I feel even better saying this. The shirt you're wearing looks like you have pasties on.
No.
Pasties.
Oh, it does.
It's
This is a terrible look. Well, then I'm going to stay below.
I couldn't see the
I'm
bottom
like
of
the
it.
guy in Home Improvement.
But listen, we're not on YouTube.
Oh, it is too, right?
I'll just tell Christina.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Pasties.
Yeah, do that. They're pasties.
Pasties are pretty cool. Have you ever worn pasties?
No, dude, are you kidding me? No. You can't tell me pasties are cool. Any strip club that runs pasties,
I'm out.
pointless.
I'm running my cam against
money?
8.
Why are you wasting your money?
I mean, is a nipple a big thing? And you need to see nipple at a strip club?
It's the tone it
says.
sets.
It's the tone. I want to know what sort of debauchery I'm going to get into. And I know it's not going to be that cool of a story if there's pasties involved.
That's fair enough. I'm not a strip club guy. I'm
not
one to go to strip clubs.
I'm just.
If I was, it wouldn't be pasties. I can tell you that.
I mean, dude, my friends, when we were growing up, my friends would like live and die for the strip club. I mean, like live and die. Like we'd be going to a club and they would see a strip club. They're like, let's go to the strip club. I'm like, why do we want to waste money on this when we don't have to over here and it's cleaner? Like, why? I don't know.
Well, it depends on if they had pasties or not.
I did have my 21st birthday in a strip club. And
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Get a lap dance from a deaf mute.
Whoa. Yeah. Well, that's a story that we can elaborate on more.
Yeah, you guys just signing.
Podcast.
This is so great.
I mean, there's really not that huge of a story. This was when I was still in the military. It was at a port call, and the guys on the ship found out that it was my 21st birthday, and so that's where they took me.
They were like,
and gracious. I don't know if it was more of a cost savings or they were like, this is going to be a good story, but we're going to get Ryan a lap dance from a deaf mute. And it was exactly like you would expect, where
what a picture.
I was scared. She couldn't talk. So it was more of like mumbling and gurgles of how we communicated. It was.
Did you mumble and gurgle back? Like try to
I didn't know. I didn't know what to. I was like, is it the music that's too loud? I didn't know what was happening at first. And then it took me a couple minutes to like figure out what was happening. And that was my one and only experience.
I bet your buddies that set that up had a great time.
Definitely.
With you.
Also didn't have pasties on. So
no pasties. Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
I mean, that would have been the bottom of the barrel.
I have one of the most insane stories with one of the few times I've been to a strip club. I mean, this is like, I don't know if I ever told you guys this story, Ryan. I think I might have told you this one. I don't know, but this story is like, you want me to do it? Like, it really has nothing to do with fitness. This is I feel like this
podcast has nothing to do with fitness.
It's more of a life podcast, really.
So I used to be a wanderer. When I went to clubs with my boys, I get one or two adult beverages in me. Like, I'm walking around. Like, they can't find me till lights are on, right?
3 hours later.
Yeah, that's just the way I was. They didn't know if I was dead or what was happening. And I but my wife and I were dating for a significant amount of time. And her best friend was having a Jack and Jill because they were getting married. So we were in Orlando, Florida. And the guys were like, hey, we're going to a strip club. We got this big party van. And I'm like, oh, here we go again with these fucking strip clubs. Like, all right, we're in a strip club. So we get there, right? And I'm just sitting in my seat, and I'm not one to gamble or waste money. I'm definitely not fucking giving money to a stripper, right? So I'm just sitting back in the corner, and I'm just, all right, I'm going to drink then, right? And I don't even know how many drinks I had, but next thing you know, it's like you come out of it, like you stand up, right? And you're like, oh shoot. I stood up, and I'm like, I can't find anybody. I don't know where anybody is, right? They must have went to another club and didn't tell me. I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm by myself, out of my gourd, right? And mind you, I have a white button-down shirt on. I have jeans and these dress shoes on. I look like a total just nerd. And I'm like, fuck. Well, I guess I'm just gonna go start walking because that's the smart thing to do, right? I'm in Orlando, Florida, on A1A. I'm from Milford, Connecticut. I don't know where I'm going. Did I tell you this story, Ryan? Oh my God. Okay. So I leave the strip club and I just start walking on A1A. And if you guys ever been to A1A, there's parts where it's pretty fucking bad, right? You're going through it. And all of a sudden, I must have been walking Tyler Ride for maybe 2 hours, right? And I'm starting to sober up every single step. And all of a sudden, I'm like, where the fuck am I right now? I'm looking around. I mean, there's people on the corner. It's 2, 3 a.m. I'm looking, and I'm this white dude walking down with a white button-down shirt. There's hookers on the corner. There's everything else going on at A1A, right? Orlando, Florida. I was like, I'm going to get fucking killed right now. True story. I swear to God, none of this is false, even though it all doesn't seem fake. I look over and I see this dude and a girl on the corner at 3 a.m. And I go, I'm going to go ask them for a knife. So I walk up to them and I said, listen, do you have a blade? And they look at me and I'm like, I'm lost. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. I just need something just in case. They look at me. The dude opens up his knife, his wallet, and he hands me a razor blade. He goes, good luck. I said, thank you. So I started walking. I got this razor blade in my hand. And I'm like, I need to make myself look like I'm out of my gourd. So I start cutting and dicing my shirt with this razor blade. Just to like look like shambles. Bro, I'm half in a bag. I don't know what's happening. And so I'm walking. I got this blade. And it's like another 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm like, my phone's dead. Dead phone, Florida, A1A, right? I don't know. I'm like, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do right now. Like, how the hell am I going to get back, right? Meanwhile, like on the flip side, right? Jocelyn's going crazy. Nobody can find me. It's like this Jack and Jill. They're driving the bus all over Orlando trying to find me, right? I get to a gas station. I just sit on the curb and I'm dumbfounded with how I'm going to live life right now. And this dude comes up and sits next to me and he starts talking to me. He's like, what the fuck are you doing out here? And I started telling him the story, like the whole story from soup to nuts of how I got there. And I'm like, bro, I don't know, like, what the hell is going to happen? And there's cops. They pull up to the gas station. He goes, hold up. Let me go talk to these cops. So he walks over to the cops and he starts, I don't know what he's saying because I'm sitting down in the corner, like hands on my head, like, what the fuck? He comes back. He's like, well, he goes, they're not going to help you. I'm like, okay. He goes, let's figure this out. So meanwhile, I don't know anything about this dude, right? He goes, here, follow me. Something told me to follow him, right? So now I'm following some fucking dude, right? And I'm like, and I don't even think, I'm like, man, this dude could be leading me to my death right now, right? I'm just like walking, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? What'd I do? So it's like 4 a.m. right now. We take a turn on a street and there's a group of like 20 to 30 dudes on a porch, all wearing the same colors, right? Down the street and me walking with this guy. And all of a sudden I'm like, I'm going to die. Right? They see me, they start like howling at me and they all start walking off the porch. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I am legit. They're like, this is it. Like, I'm like, Mom, I love you. Like, I'm like, God, you think about like fuck around and find out, right? Like I made one bad decision and that was my bad decision. And they surround me and he goes, keep your head down. He goes and just keep walking. So I put my head down and I'm walking and I'm so braced. So I'm waiting to get hit with something, right? I'm like, this is it. And I'm just waiting. And he puts his hand on my shoulder and he walks me through the crowd with not one thing happening to me, right? We just keep walking. And I'm like so in my head, like braced for like, I'm about to get jumped by like everybody here, right? Or shot. I don't know what's going to happen, hit with a bottle. So I'm just like completely like clenched and not even hearing what's being said or done at that point. And then, so we get through the crowd and I'm like, so now my life is like, I'm like, okay, I just dodged death now, but where do I go? Right. And we turn a corner and we end up at the Orlando Magic Stadium. Right. And there's a cop car there with no lights on. And whether you guys believe in God and angels or what, that's up to your own listeners and you guys. I'm like, but for me, I'm like, I 100% believe in it. So he walks me up to this taxi cab, no lights on. It's this fat white dude sitting in the taxi cab. He's like, where do you got to go? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I'm like, I've never been here before. We're at her friend's house. The house looks like this. It's in a town like this. I'm like, I don't fucking know. So this dude, he puts me in the taxi cab and I pass out. I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, I fall asleep. I wake up in the cab to the cab driver waking me up and I'm at the fucking house. Swear to God.
Wild.
Bro, like I grew up religious, but ever since that, I'm like, this is my guardian angel and God just fucking handed me a ticket or something.
And did you ever find out how he knew where to go?
I never saw the guy again. Like he put me in the taxi cab and then like he just like I didn't see him. And then the taxi cab driver dropped me off. And I'm like I woke up and I was in such like aura shock that I was fucking there. I'm like, holy fucking God. Right. I'm like, and I got out and I'm like, thank you. I have no money. And he's like, don't worry about it. And that was it. And then the taxi cab was gone. Now gets the really bad part. The really bad part is I walk in there. It's like 6 a.m. now. Everybody's awake, frantic, not knowing what the fuck happened to me. Convinced I cheated on Josh with a hooker and I got a ride home, right? So now I'm like, and think about this story I just told, right? So now I'm showing them my t-shirt, my shirt is all ripped up. Fucking like, I'm like, and cheating on the hooker, I almost fucking died from a
fighting
gang.
for my life.
And and her friend's like, fuck Jay, he was cheating on you, he's a piece of shit, like da da da. And, you know, Josh trying to make the whole story out. And I'm like, I swear to God, like I did, like this is what just happened to me, right, in my life. And then I think the part that saved me was like the next day we're driving in Florida, and I'm still on eggshells. Like everyone hates me, everyone thinks like I'm a bad person, I was cheating on her. And all of a sudden we pass Orlando Magic Stadium, and I'm like, that's where I got the fucking cab, right fucking there. That's where the guy walked me to. And then, you know, her friend's a cop, and she was like, you were walking around this area of A1A? I'm like, yeah. She's like, this is like the worst fucking area. I almost got fucking jumped by a gang at 4 a.m. Like, I legit don't know how I'm alive right now. That's my stripper story. Never been back to a strip club since that point. So
that was the one. Who knew Jay used to be a wanderer?
I almost lost my life for wandering.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Wild.
I have nothing remotely close to that.
Man, yeah, that was like,
very boring life.
I tell that story, and like, you know, every time I say it, I'm like, this sounds like I made it up, but
I like it.
It's crazy, man.
Well, should we talk about some fitness?
Yeah, lay it on us.
Well, is there anything fitness-wise you guys would like to talk? What's going on?
I'm in the middle of a competition week. We're competing with the team this weekend at the Crash Crescendo.
Ooh.
At CrossFit Crash.
How you guys gonna
do?
That's
exciting. Feel good about it. There's one event where we're not going to win, but everything else we feel pretty good about. So it'll be our first competition with me and Jess have obviously competed a lot together. And then Brandon and Emma, this will be our first time all four together. So there's bound to be some screw ups, and there's bound to be some good things. So it'll be a good data collection for Syndicate, which will be our games qualifier in a month.
The Crash Crescendo's gotten pretty big over the years, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's got some, it's more of I think there's only 12 teams in our division, but it's more of a high level. Like all the teams are pretty well semifinal level or above. Like the Mayhems, they got 2 Mayhem teams go in, and like that. So we got some high level competition. And JR does a pretty good job with the whole thing. So it's pretty fun. We did it last year. It was fun.
Yeah. That's pretty dope. What did you guys think about Mayhem? I thought Mayhem did a great job. I really liked how they did it in the gym because it looked packed from the videos I saw. Like it looked packed, which now these other people do to these big facilities and it looks empty, you know?
Dude, it's the worst. Yeah. You look back and there's all kinds of empty everything. It's like, that doesn't feel great, but I thought it was cool. Programming was really fun to watch.
Yeah. Right. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's cool to see, you know, that it feels like there's a lot of people there. I mean, financially, it probably makes sense to do it at the gym. Like, why not do it at the facility you own? I like the program. I think it shows the lack of what quarterfinals was. Yeah. Because you saw a lot of people crush quarters, or like people do really well in quarters and then get pretty bodied in semis. And I think that is a testament to what quarterfinals should have been. Quarterfinals could have been the open. And it didn't do a great job of kind of separating those two pools of athletes. Yeah, but overall, I thought it went well. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought, you know, what I'm interested in is this game that, I don't even know if it's a game, but how these athletes are picking and choosing where to go to. And it's interesting how there's such low signups for some and such high signups for others, right? Like you look at Magic City games, like the Masters division where your athlete is Ryan and my athlete, 55 to 60 is like 24 people in it. And I look at Legends that Tudor's going to, and I don't know how many people are there, but I know like 2 weeks ago, there was like, 7 individuals signed up.
Dude, it was nuts. Like,
yeah.
For being San Diego, I'm like, what is happening? Yeah. So like, that's usually like a pinnacle. Like Del Mar Regionals was like the regional.
And it sucks because you look at the people that are going there now, and you have to be on your game, because I don't know what the number is for people there, but let's say you have, you know, the potential for points to shift is going to diminish with fewer people that are there, you know, and it's going to make it a lot harder to, if you have a bad workout, to jump up because of that.
Yeah. Are you in favor more of the old school regional, or first when they came out with sanctions where it was like Syndicate was just the North America East, for instance, or you had just the people that were in the West? Are you more of a fan of that? Or do you think people should be able to choose with no real parameters, and then you may end up with a Syndicate is going to be slammed with athletes, top down, really, really top heavy, but also a full field, versus Legends is, to your point, not going to be packed?
You know, Tyler, I think that's a great question. And I think maybe that's what we talk about. And I don't know. how I feel, because there's pluses and minuses to each one. And I think the plus to where it's like, hey, if you're in this region, you have to go to here. That's good for creating a draw and for having making sure each one has the appropriate amount of people. But the backside is that you might have one region. I remember when the Northeast had like Fraser and everybody, right? Like it was terrible. Like if you were in the Northeast region or the East Coast region, like you were fucked. You weren't making it, right? If you couldn't go to any other one, it's sort of like, what's the point? It kind of diminished that aspect, that kind of fighting chance component. And I think if it is a pro sport, no, you should be able to do multiple, like other people do, other sports do. I think being stuck to just one and only one makes it very challenging, especially when the workouts and the programming is different at each one. It's like, there is a game to play with who's programming it. What does a program look like? What kind of athlete does it favor? And, there's things to think about, and it creates more of that. I guess if I were to keep talking out loud, I do like the idea of athletes being able to do multiple ones if they have the funds to, if they have the ability to, and to kind of pick and choose where they want to go to. The downside to that is like you might get stuck with ones that don't have enough people to make it advantageous for athletes, which sucks, right? I think we got to figure out a way to make that scene better and more conducive for both the people putting it on, so they don't lose all their money, and then for the athletes, so it's actually a good competition and there's good potential to, game it when making points and going up the leaderboard and things like that.
I think I dislike regionals for the exact reason of what you're saying. I think we saw super stacked regions, and then you saw, we'll call it subpar regions that just like weren't up to what the best regions were, right? And then you have people advancing to the games who are clearly below what even some of the some of the middle of the pack may be in the stacked regions. So I don't like that. What I did like about regionals is they were doing the same workouts. I actually really like that, because to me, like, it's not that the times just got better. People got more efficient. They really started to see the strategy of the workouts, and they could refine weekend to weekend and really see what people were capable of. And I would rather see that, where you have whatever it is, say 5 semifinals. Here's the cut line. Athletes can pick whatever they want. They can go to multiple, but it's the same workouts at each one. I really think you have to make it the same test. And that, to me, would be the ideal. And then it's like, cool, you barely missed out. Cool. Well, then those top 3 or whatever people they take from the first one they're out of the pool, and then the next group comes in.
Yep. Mm-hmm. My only challenge to that is by the end of that 4 or 5 weeks, or however long that takes to run through those, are you even going to be interested in watching it live, whether that's streamed online or going to the event?
Different argument.
You've seen,
I think an argument. It comes out to the competition. I mean, look at High Rocks. High Rocks legit sells out spectator tickets, and it's the same fucking thing, right? Like legit, like their spectator tickets are sold out, which is insane to me, right? And it's the same thing everywhere you go. It's not like they're seeing anything different. It's just the excitement of competition, right? Like, you go back in the day, like if it was Panchek, Frazier, and Froning, and, Khalipa and Noah, and you had all those set guys, I don't care if they did a workout every single fucking year. I'm going to tune in and watch those guys go head to head at it, right? It's like, I want to see that,
I think there's a way to do it too, where if you're doing it that way, you pick prime locations, and like you actually pick destination locations. So now it becomes an experience for both the person, for the person watching, and the athlete, right? And you're like, hey, we're going to pick these 5 super dope areas. We're going to do the competition there. And then people turn it into a vacation. And so who cares if they...
Yeah, and it's like, 100%. And I don't think it needs to be at a huge like complex. Like, look at Mayhem. Do the Mayhem. Do that in Invictus. Like, pick like key gyms around the areas that are big, that have the space. And, maybe it's like back in the day where Rogue will supply the equipment and they're kind of like ship it out, but it would save a ton of costs rather than trying to rent out some convention center. And now it feels half empty, it feels all empty, right? Because they're huge and it's a ton of money and expense for that. Like, do it like back in the day, man. Pick key gyms that have the proper size and are in great locations, like Ryan said, and get after it.
I think they got to figure something out, because to your point, if Legends has, as of 2 weeks ago, if they end up with 15 competitors or some number, and Mayhem had 20, but that was by choice, right? They wanted a smaller field because they were running it inside the affiliate and they wanted it to be that kind of tight. But these other ones, I mean, they got 40 guys going to syndicate, 40 guys, 40 girls, and then 40 teams. Like that's a big operation.
Big.
And if you've got 2
That's
weeks in between, then it should be the same. The programming thing bothers me because then you get people like the one next weekend, Copa Sur. Some of those workouts are just ridiculous. Like they're super short, sprinty. They're not even well thought out. And then NorCal is obviously known for having some goofy stuff out in the dirt.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not what we're past that, right? And so the syndicate's being done by JR, who's pretty solid, and then obviously Mayhem does their thing. So you've got this imbalance of like, and then the part that bothers me too is that Legends is in California, nice easy trip. I know of 10 people off the top of my head that are going to Brazil to compete in Copa Sur, or they're going to the Far East Throwdowns, whichever one the one is in Korea, because they know that the chances of them getting qualifying or because the field will be not as strong. And so you get to kind of like pick and choose. And I guess that's to your point about like, if that makes sense, go do that trip, go do it. But
yeah, but people did that at regionals when we had like the super region.
Different
people were legit moving to qualify in like in Asia or something like that.
Yeah. They'd move, qualify, then come in last at the games.
Yeah, because they went to the easier region.
They made it there.
But that's when, I mean, that was the issue with the cuts, right? Like you get some of these kind of more obscure regions, they'd come in, they'd spend all this money to get here, and then they'd be cut after day one.
That was terrible when they did that. You know,
yeah, that was so shitty.
It was like, you're gonna say people can qualify if, you know, they finish out of, you know, Turkestan, but there's 5 people doing CrossFit, right? And you qualify, but then, okay, you're not gonna make the first cut lines. Like they just dropped 10K to get there and they're done. After the first workouts, like
just don't let them come. Like just be like, hey man, we're not doing this.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys, that was fucked up.
You make it open. Here's the cut line. Here's everybody with the invite. Here's your 5 opportunities. Go to as many as you want. Once you qualify, you're out of the pool. You don't get to keep coming, and you run it that way. Yeah. Find locations, same workouts, rock and roll.
Yeah.
I do like how the one thing I take away was that I do like how they're having smaller fields. Like for instance, Mayhem only having 3. Syndicate only having 3. I'm assuming Legends is the same. I think that's cool because it really forces that tight at the top of the leaderboard. I remember a couple years ago at Syndicate, the first year we qualified, they took 10 individuals. And so you weren't even watching the top of the leaderboard. You were just watching 7 through 12. And with all due respect, you'd rather watch the top, right? This is a better race to watch, a more fun race to watch. And so that made it super cool this weekend to watch.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, going back to what we were saying, though, I thought it was really interesting how some of the top quarterfinals got bodied at Mayhem.
And it makes sense, right? Because if you looked at them on paper and took the name off the top, you'd say, oh, these are the open workouts, and this is clearly a semifinal level workout. I mean, Gwen at 185. Like nobody in the bottom. I mean, quarterfinals, that's not even remotely close. The heaviest deadlift we did was, you know, and like the front squat was 275 for dudes.
It's like, it's just,
it shows you the lack of, I mean, really integrity between the programming. If you're having this many people, somebody said Dave did the open, and like, I have not verified this. This is third-party information. But Dave did the open, Boz did quarterfinals, and then semis, I'll do semis.
Yeah, you know, it flowed really good when Dave was in control of it all. And I'm not saying Boz doesn't do a good job. But I'm saying because when one person's in control of it and they have that clear progression of open, quarter, semis, you know, and Dave talked about that in his book of how he flowed one to the other for the purpose into the games. It's kind of like that step. I always thought that was a good job, and that they did that flowed well. The workouts are great. It really got the right people with what they're trying to find. But I mean, that's another debate, right? Like, what are you trying to find? There's no definition to that within inside the sport, right? So I think that's why you have these other things coming out that have that set definition of how they view fitness, and everything stays the exact same. And you can see people going to that, right? Like, what is it, like the Athlon games, or I don't know, there's a bunch of other things popping up now. Axion,
Xenon,
there's all these other things popping up now because
but even like that's not like a new thing. Remember when F45 put on like a big competition, right? And like I think it was Noah actually competed at the games, like a week later went to this like F45 competition and like
beat the
smoked
breaks off
everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if it matters that we don't have like a real actual definition of what we're testing. It's still like we have yet to see another competition put up or another competition show up where the elite of the elite CrossFitters can't just roll in and
and beat the
and do
shit out of
super well.
everybody there.
Dude, look at Tia at High Rocks. Are you kidding? Like, we had elite level CrossFitters rolling into High Rocks and like doing real
like it was
well.
nothing.
Yeah.
With no real
Which is
training.
like,
It's like, yeah, we'll
so
do that.
far outside of what our traditional sport is.
Right.
My thing with the quarterfinal thing is that I'm even okay with like semifinals being the level where we test to get to the games. Then just take, what are we doing at quarterfinals? And it's just an extension of the Open. Effectively, it was a 4th week of the Open. It's like, just do away with that. Do 3 weeks of the Open, then you qualify based off of that. And most of these semifinals are doing invites anyway. Half of their field is invites. Like Syndicate is taking the top 15 or 20 from the games last year. So they're not even looking at the quarterfinal. So it's like, it's just tricky.
Yeah. I do
why even have it?
The one thing you see in quarterfinal, like, I don't think it's fair to compare the Open to quarterfinals as a 1-to-1. You do have the density component of quarterfinals. There is more strategy.
Had to do it in 4 days or whatever.
Yeah, and repeats and stuff like that. So I do think that in and of itself is a closer progression to semifinals. The workouts were not a good bridge from Open to semifinal.
That's fair. And I loved quarterfinals 3 years ago when the workouts were had more heavy weight in it, had some high skill stuff. I thought it was a great bridge to get to that next level because they were still challenging for the elite, not all sprint basically it just came down to execution this year. They were actually good workouts. I think that stage of the season is great. I'm saying if you're going to do workouts like they just did, just leave it out. If you're going to do it, then write good workout.
Yeah.
I think you go back to Rise. Or I think with the Open, I think you backload the high skill gymnastics, give people a chance to actually play the game. Like you keep like legless rope climbs or ring muscle ups or that stuff on the back end of workouts. And then come quarterfinals, you flip that around. You actually put the high skill gymnastics on the front end. You put moderately heavier loads into quarterfinals, and that would actually give you the best bridge to semifinals. And then semifinals, it's basically a smaller version of the games where you don't have the obscure endurance event. You don't have the run.
I think the problem is they don't have a clear definition of what each one should be and look like.
Totally.
As evident this year, right? It's like,
that's great.
If you have the overall principle of what it should be, then you fill in around that, but they don't have that, right? I just remember like when the workouts were the same for semis, like that to me was very, very exciting, right? Like how often you would literally watch every single final to see like how much faster or what strategy people are doing or what changes that people make to get better and faster. And are you going to try to do that or stick to your game plan? It's like that was exciting as hell, and basically tuning in and be like, all right, how did Rich do it? Right. It's like everyone watched Mayhem do it, right? Because they were always the greatest. It's like, can we do that? Can we emulate it? Can we change it? Like, so that was cool back then.
I also think that then you get into the strategy of like, okay, do you go to the first one to give yourself the most amount of chances? Or are you that confident in, maybe delaying, giving yourself a little bit more time between semis? Like, then you get into a peaking strategy of like, okay, when do I really want to be primed? How much time do I actually need to prime for the games based on when I qualify? That brings in a whole nother dynamic. Or you're just like, hey, this may or may not happen. I need to give myself as many chances. And then you're prepared to roll semis 1 to 5. You're like, I'm just going to keep shooting my shot until
just to get there.
Or if you're if you're Tia or Matt, you're like, cool, first one, get it out of the way. And then you're, deload.
You got 3 months.
Mode. Yeah. Which like, it pays to be a winner. And like
if you're Paige Rogers and you just qualified, you take 2 weeks and just really chill, let the body sit, and then you got a nice set big chunk of time before the games.
Yeah, I think that's great that she qualified. That's awesome.
She's good. She's good people.
Yeah. All right, cool. Boys, we got cut it there.
Cut it like your shirt on A1A.
Wow. Beachwood Avenue. Beachfront Avenue. Guys, thank you for joining. Hope you guys got some good information from here. As always, if you have anything that you want us to talk about, drop us a message, give us a like, follow, share. Tell all your friends about the Conquer Athlete podcast. Share the love. Understand that we have so much amazing information and knowledge to give that you should share this with the entire world. It is like a blessing to the ears. It is like a party for the ears. It is like an orgasm in your ears, hearing us talk.
That was what I was fixing to say.
It's okay if you fast forward the first 10 minutes. I won't be ashamed. Also, check out CoachRx.
Also, check out CoachRx. Don't forget about that. See you guys on the next one.
Pacey's rule.